They said as a man, if you don't have 2.5 million naira sitting cooling there in your account for spending, you are not a real man.
Says who?
Society says women.
Why? Why should I be defined by the amount of money I have in my account?
Because that's what you are. A man's money is for spending. You are there to spend. In fact, that's what you came to this world to do, to spend money.
What part of our constitution?
It's not about a constitutional thing. It's just that when the pressure comes, you now realize that true, you are not a man. So do you have 2.5 million naira sitting somewhere?
I have. Somewhere.
For spending, not your saving.
For boiling purposes.
You are a man. You are a man.
So be say if I don't get money for account, I no be baller. No. I no be man again.
Hide your face.
Civil servant no fit do dorime. Dorime no be for civil servant.
So don't be waiting day between my legs. Make me a man.
Everybody get them. Now, women don't even need that to give birth again. They have sperm bank. They just go and pick them. The only problem is you go pick out sperm. You born waiting, you don't know.
But do you guys realize the mental pressure on men because of this? The urge to succeed, the pressure to succeed.
If you can't fit in, get out.
So if the heat is too much in the kitchen,
get out. Nobody cares about you.
So when you say man. Get out, to where?
To anywhere.
Find solace where the heart can find
everything peace. Is monetized now. Even love for a man is monetized. Even the love from your children these days, as they get old, they too will start making. Say you come online and you are seeing somebody and say, if you say Dangote na my father, just imagine you as the father. You go online and see your child typing that kind of thing, and Fuse doesn't owe you any.
This is a serious issue. As you guys can see, this is a serious issue. We're talking about the pressure on men, the urge to succeed. Like they say, if you don't get money, hide your face. So does it mean if you're not a man, you don't have money sitting in your account, you cannot be called a man? This is what we are looking into today. This is another episode of Hard Knocks brought to you by Walure Media. You know, your question sounds funny to me when you said, do I have an X amount of money in my account?
You may have more. Anyway.
But that's the reality. Men are judged by what they have, by their possessions, by what they have in their account. But do you think it's okay?
Well, let me even re-echo that statement. We've heard it. They said, only dogs or pets, children and women are loved unconditionally. Men are loved on the condition that they provide.
True. So if you don't have the capacity to provide.
So, whether you like it or not, first of all, the Bible says a man who cannot provide for his family is described as an infidel. That is where that's how it is stated in the Bible. Somebody can help us with that Bible passage. And people have gone on to what? Men are what? By history, hunters. Right? The women are to tend. That is the traditional role of men. The women are to what? Tend to what? Their offspring. They are just there to be fed by the men. That is what traditionally was the role of man and woman. The man will go to war. If his place is to be invaded, he should go to war, right? And ensure that they don't conquer his territory. Because when they conquer the territory, they will take everything he has in the land, both his produce in terms of crops, right? And even down to what? His offspring and the person who has born that offspring for him, which is the woman, which is his wife. So everything for a man is that he should what? Provide security, provide food to eat. Although the food is there, God has created it, but he should ensure that he provides that. Even down to even the part where a man, of course, although we know that there are exceptions, you see some traditions where the women are also primarily found. But when it comes to actually tilling the soil, the harder part, right? The one that has to do with strength. I won't say the harder part before the women will come for me, right? When it comes to tilling the soil, it is the man, right? So the man must provide. He's constantly faced with the reality. He has to provide.
But the times are changing.
Yeah, so look at the Western changing. But why is it that the women world, no matter how it changes, who is going to be primarily responsible when there is nothing to eat at home?
It's in this part of the world. Let's talk about the Western world.
But why
what is happening there?
So why are Nigerian men the darling of those people when you go to, because in our family, Nigerian men will go there with what? Our own value system, where you know we always say these things that you go even around the African country, you see like Nigerian men that have high value. It's because we go there, the Nigerian man
Wants to
if-
provide.
wants to
But
provide, wants to
the thing is
play
this,
with money around.
if we are being valued that way, maybe you can talk about the women folk over there.
Mhm.
But for the men, they see Nigerian men as threats.
Yeah,
That,
so-
okay, here in my country, I'm talking about the Western world now, or let me just say inclusive of some selected African countries. Here in this part of the world, we share responsibilities. Now, a man is coming into my space to say, oh, he's a superman. He can take care of all
who
the
pays child
expenses.
support over there? That's to tell you the man is meant to provide. If there is who pays child support,
Well, of course, I agree with you that the men pay
so it still
that,
goes to show you that
but
the man.
it is not as pronounced as it is in Africa.
No, so what I'm trying to say now at the end of the day is, when you talk of child support, it is still the man. So the bulk of the responsibility still falls on the man to provide.
So
I'm not saying it is fair. I don't know if it's unfair.
I'm
but
not even talking about.
I want to look at it this way. If nature has bestowed on the man that responsibility, it's because nature has also provided the strength, right, for the man to.
But the same
do that.
nature, the same God puts a woman as a helper.
sorry.
So when we say the man should provide, the only thing is, sorry, I will come.
Okay.
The only thing is, unjustly, there have now been undue expectation on the man. But to say for the man's traditional role as a provider is not in doubt, right? But when we now say undue pressure, that is where if you are a spiritual person, or you want to look at it, the devil is also fighting against the order of creation.
Okay, look at it from this way now. There are things that were created immemorial. Then we as human beings, maybe in this part of the world, we felt, oh, this is not good enough. Let's recreate things. Now, are women being fair to the men? If you feel that, okay, this is the way things ought to be, or this is the way it has been, don't you think like, oh, it's time for change?
So you want to say
I didn't
something?
fair.
You want to say something?
I didn't fair to the men.
I'll come to your answer, but I want you to.
So I think this is it, right? If you are looking at our culture in this 21st century, right? I think compared to what if you are measuring against the Western world, right? I think there's a whole lot of hidden values, whether good or bad, that we've monetized, right? I think we see on social media these days that, I'm sorry, the man is sending a bouquet full of money. I won't consider that as an apology, because that means that's just a pass to repeat the same thing, right? So maybe here we've monetized the good things, and we have also incentivized the bad things. You understand? And I don't think the women will actually want to complain about money, because right now we can see the love of money is also there. And also the same in terms of provision, and he said, do I have 2.5 million naira? The 2.5 million naira that I have, right? We've forgotten that also money is also, the Bible said, and this is also what?
The root of all evil.
It's also the root of all evil. Right?
But no, let me correct that assertion. Money
The love
is
of
not
money.
the root of all
Okay,
evil.
the love
of money is
yeah,
the root
so
of all
so
evil.
we really say that we're having more women that are loving money, because if you should look at our societies these days, right? Like we said, a man is actually being judged by what he can,
We are having
he can-
more women that I
he can
love with money,
provide, or
because
what he
that's
can
what the
give.
society is teaching them.
So we are going to debate
that's what we are
if we
promoting.
want to center this around whether women love. This is not a case of women love. We want to ascertain, is there undue pressure on men to provide?
Yes.
Now I will say this. I will look at this because you asked a question. Is it not are things not changing? Right? Men come and they try to change the order of things, and that is where the problem lies.
So
And I'll tell you where the problem lies. There's a natural order. And I'll go a little bit biblical, right? There's a natural order. And every time man tries to go away from that natural order, we've tried to create things ourselves, and that is what is causing this chaos in the world. That it seems like there is a gender war. Whether you like it, open your phone every day, you will see where men are against women, women are against men, right? Because we try to move away from the natural order. Now you look at some, and I will put the blame solely at the feet of two people. First, the westernization of our culture, overly westernization of our culture. And secondly, our too much acceptance. Because on the first hand, you have colonialism trying to foster on you ideals and make you believe.
As the Africans.
Yes,
Talking about Africans
yes. First
now.
of all, the Europeans, the Americans, or whatever, they try to uphold their culture as the
Being
global
superior to-
culture, superior to yours.
us.
Then on the other hand, we quickly accept it. In fact, everybody wants to talk today, and the easiest thing they point to is when you go to America, when you go to the Western world, it is not done like this. Take away infrastructure, right? When it comes to values, human values, they don't have it better than us. Whether you like it or not, they don't have it better than us. Now, if you want to say, okay, but their society is prospering, I'll show you other societies that are prospering, that are not living. And when I talk about man and human ideals, right, they are not living under those kind of their laws. I'll take you to Saudi Arabia. I'll take you to Qatar. We go down to China. We go down to Japan, right? These are people that have also come to understand that for our society to grow, we need to maintain our value system. Our value system as Africans are not bad, or they are not worse off than what the Europeans tells us to what they are. So now you now find that our version of feminism, right, is trying to make us feel like, yes, the woman is now contributing, or for the woman to contribute, you need to destabilize
The order.
the order that nature has actually shown to man. So for the man, I feel the problem is what is causing this undue pressure. The African man had never complained of providing up until recent time, right? He was never complaining, but until you started telling him that his contribution to the family, when Olamide cited that you have something like bouquet of flowers, somebody wants to get married today, the African woman, in quotes, is going to size him up by the value of the ring he's going to bring forward. Are you seeing where the pressure starts from, right? He's going to size him up because of the undue expectations, the picture she has created in them. And I tell people to fight any population. First of all, get their women. That is where you've gotten them, because those are the powerful people. You get them and they are going to help you this time. And that is what the West has done over time. So that's where we now see it being translated to undue pressure on the man. The man is now meant to, I have to meet up. And whether you like it or not, the man has to meet up, because the man will always have a soft spot for whoever he's meant to provide for.
Sorry, I need to say this. I met somebody a couple of days ago. I think in his late 40s. He said he's married with 3 kids. He said he's been married for about close to 20 years. And he said, like, there was a time he was having so much pressure. His BP was rising, right? That he was earning decent money. And he said, but also he was collecting loans. So by the time his salary is coming, all the loans are being gone, right? And he was like, and I asked him one question, like, what of madam? Is she not working? He said, he just shook his head like, that his wife has never worked.
Right? Who's responsible for that?
Right? And he said that at some point, he did set up a business for her, but the business failed.
Well, for that, I wouldn't want to blame the woman. The truth of the matter is, before you marry a woman, you know her strength. There could have been discussions. Probably the woman is living the life he wants her to live. I mean, sometimes you might be thinking that, okay, it's the fault of the woman there. Now, from your own submission now, I want to infer that you are saying that the women or African women are being materialistic. And being materialistic means that there is added pressure on the men. Well, do I want to agree with you? Maybe that's not a true reflection of all African women.
No.
maybe
So I
selected.
don't want
Do
to
I say maybe the
African
ones in the
women have
city?
been. So
But I
the
think the
problem
question-
of colonialism, or what is it called, colonial vestiges that keeps rearing their head, is not an issue of the African woman. It's an issue of Africa and them knowing their identity. Because I will say this, you can't blame the African woman, and this is why. The African woman has never really been at the helm of affair. It means the men have sold themselves short in terms of whether you talk about let's start with our legislatures. The laws that we agree to be the governing laws in this country, the men are mostly responsible for how those laws come into play. Because if you want to check the number of women in parliament, so are you going to still blame the women? We are the ones that make these laws, right? It is still the men. That's where I'm going to.
But there's something you need to observe. There are people with influence. You might be seeing the men.
No,
making
so
the rules,
that is the point.
but
When
there
you-
could be some person
so the
behind.
person, so it's still the men you should blame, because how did those influence come? Even if you are saying somebody is sitting behind and dictating to the men, right, that should make the law, it is still the men that have gone to sit in that round
still
table
the men
and
that vote.
accepted. So that's why I will not blame the African woman. I'm not blaming the African woman. I'm still saying the laws that we agree to be governed by in history. Let's talk about the Nigerian history and go back to when the Edos and the Portuguese, I think it's the 15th century, they came in contact in the first instance, right? And all of that. It's always men now. When you talk of the Oba that came in contact with the Portuguese, they say that's the first time we came in contact with white men, right? Down to, it's still the men. How many Nigerian women had a say in what Nigeria became of
So
today?
are you now saying that the men are responsible for their plight?
So I am not saying the men are responsible. I'm only saying you cannot blame the women are perpetuating whatever is happening today, because us as a people, not men, us as a people. Because you were trying to make me say I'm blaming the women, but no, this is not because I'm scared of the women, but this is my true. This is how I see things, right? It is because because now I'll give you an example. Today, I'm growing up, you always, because CNN feeds you with a lot of things, you feel like, oh, I remember when the war, Osama bin Laden and all of that, 2001, we'll be watching the TV and, watching the way the US jets are bombarding Iraq, and we're so happy. Like, it was for us, we're happy that, but growing up and you now start making your own analysis and you now understand that these people also were fighting to maintain their identity, down to the point where, what do? They go to these countries and start telling their women that using hijab is wrong. I don't know if I'm in support of that, but you shouldn't leave your country trying to tell another people how they should be living. Cultures that have gone over time. Do you understand? They want to, so that's why I tell you, what do? The first thing they want to get a population is you get their women. Now try and tell an African woman that, what's all this wig you are wearing? She's, first of all, back then, it was a thing of, it's fine. Like but now they have strong words to make you, they start making you feel like you have the problem. What do they tell you? You can't tell a woman what to do with her body. Now I'm going to tell you for free, that statement did not come from them. Trace back. There's a foreign media that have perpetrated that idea somewhere. We just take these things. We don't know. That's the power of media, right? We just take these things and we start saying them. The word misogynist, did it come from us? It started with them. In your head, you now believe a man doing anything do you get that you watch in a foreign movie is a misogynist. But this is not to say there are not ills being done by men. But my point is, at every point in time that we are made to feel second class, right? It builds up pressure. And sometimes the pressure of providing, that's an aspect of it. It builds up pressure. That the man now is not being judged on things. I use the issue of the engagement ring. The African setting never knew anything like that. You want to get married? You get married you meet the person's parents.
But there were wealthy people in that era as well. And your wealth can be measured with maybe what you are putting on, the kind of houses or the kind of horses you ride. So these are a way of measuring your wealth.
No, what I said is it started with influx of foreign ideas. Using an engagement ring. Don't ask me if I believe. I'm bringing that as an example. Was one thing. People used to just go, buy. But I'm now going to tell you that now it is not just the ring that is the problem. It is the value of the ring. You find some women telling the man that you can't engage me with a cheap ring. That is a pressure you've built. You are not going into, because all of these things we feed ourselves from.
But don't you think if a lady is telling me that you cannot engage me with an X amount of ring,
do you know how powerful? I know you're going. Do you know how powerful?
If I choose to accept,
do you know how powerful a woman is?
I know.
So
I know
now you might be so now. If you think men are so powerful, when a man loves a woman, you now see that is why it is said that the woman you marry, right, determines your happiness for a longer part of your life.
I agree with you totally.
So now you are saying, he will say, yes, of course, some have that willpower, but go back to the Garden of Eden. If you believe the story anyway, what happened? As Adam is, who deceived him?
I understand that part that you're talking about. It's because if I have to submit to a woman, it's because I've trusted that woman to a certain level. Now, there's still a period of trust. Now, she must have built up that trust up to a certain level that without thinking twice, I will accept whatever is coming from her.
Adam did.
Because she has built herself to that.
Adam did.
Do you know Samson? In the
Adam
Bible,
did.
Yes.
Samson
how
did.
powerful he was.
Yes.
So he trusted the woman.
Yes.
And what when you trust someone, what do you now want to do? You want to make them happy. Remember.
Yes.
You
but
want
we've
to
seen
make them
instances too where women have done something remarkable for men.
Of
it's
course.
not just the negative examples.
So you are what you are saying is you are taking us out of it. This is not a comparison. If we are talking about women, right? And I started and I said, women are doing things remarkable. Now, let me take you back. Do you know that there are a lot of things, time past, the women did to cover up for their husbands? It wasn't only their husbands providing. I don't know if you understand. Some children actually also saw that. But now they are making the women folks now believe that. See, if you are not, women now tell you things like, when you see ideas that we are not being upheld, like it was a shame, but now a woman comfortably, it comes like a joke. I want to be Oga wife, and have you seen the definition they give to all of those
I know
things?
Oga wife.
So what I'm saying is, and I've said it,
Madam,
so, and you are saying the men will say no. You will sit down there, Yahoo boy will collect. Do you know how it starts? You want to get married today, they thief your girlfriend. Where according to people, you don't build foundation, person can't roof am. You try again, you start another one. The next time another girl tells you that you need to buy an engagement ring that is worth XYZ amount of money, you go and look for that money.
So
because you will not want to be beaten 3 times. Why? Over time, no matter how
humble.
Not humble, no matter how you want to say all women will not be the same, right? Society is building a culture.
True.
A culture that is going to permeate them. However, it may be more pronounced in some persons, and that's when they've taken it to the extreme. No man that shouldn't be taken care of, no man that shouldn't be catered for, right? But once society is building a culture, we are not going to be here, some of us, to see that culture. But by the time that culture becomes the prevailing culture, the number of people that will have accepted it as a way of life will be so much.
I understand that part. Now, you're talking about conditioning.
Yes.
But don't forget the fact that if you have built your own value system, there's no way society will always want to condition you to suit their own purpose. And it's a gradual process. But there are also ways to mitigate all of this. Now, if you have built your own value system, and your value system does not align with what is currently happening, there are still some remarkable women that you talk about that always stand up for their men, irrespective of their financial status.
That's what we are saying. there is a natural order. What is more attractive is always something that is disruptive.
Negative,
Thank
disruptive.
you.
Yeah, I
Is what
understand that.
And social media is making it look like is relegating good morals to the back door, right? It's relegating it. So I'm picking my phones, and this is the power of media. They feed you what you want to see. Algorithms on social network will also be feeding these things. Trust me, they will take away things that are going to promote. So they'll be feeding us with these things.
Sorry to cut you, right? There is this thing that people say, which is right. The negative news is constant.
Sure,
It
that's
is,
what it's called news.
It is constant, right? And if you are looking at it from the marriage part, right? Almost every day you hear one breakup, this happened, that happened, right? And I think they have been encouraging people that are successfully married over the years, that is really going well for them, to actually come and speak out. Because by the time you look deeply into some of the issues that are probably causing, I mean, apart from, what I call it, violence, right? It will just be in terms of maybe a bit of financial
Honestly,
issues, right? Because tell me,
I don't
if
agree
a
with
lady
it. Is
It is.
very pronounced.
right? Tell me if a lady is driving a Range, right? Can she settle down with a guy driving a Camry?
But why will a guy want
Why
to
would
go
a
and-
guy? Yes.
Yeah.
So
why
you
would a
cut your
guy?
coat according to your
yourself.
cloth.
But the funny thing is this. I heard about a lady some weeks back. She went for an interview on the radio station. And she was there, permit to say, running her mouth, saying that if a guy does not have an X amount of money, that we shouldn't come out, he shouldn't come out openly and call himself a man. If you don't drive a Mercedes Benz, you shouldn't call yourself a man. She was saying all sort of that. Guess what? When the lady left the radio station, she was seen on a bike. And they snapped her.
So
And they posted it out there. Now, for someone who is not as rich, who is not even as rich as the guy, you are claiming that if a guy is driving a Corolla, he's not driving a Benz, he shouldn't call himself
but
a man.
this is the excuse they give. They said it's because they know they don't have money. And in fact, when you've insulted their father, that their father, they say,
Does your father have
they will tell you that they don't want to make the same mistake twice now.
this
their father don't have money. That's why.
Let them start with the father first.
let's even
So
let's
one guy said, there's a voice over I do listen. He said, which kind of nonsense with that way you go my sister say if you no get money, you no go feed data, and you come dey insult me, say the brother get money. Say wetin concern him and you and his sister talk. Say if una dey talk, make una dey talk am there. So that's why I'm saying, for all of those things where you thought you had a point to correct, they have more to feed you. And that's why I say that's culture. That's what they call social conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Is continuing. So
Because-
people
sorry
that
to
are
cut
not
you.
like that are now going to be the special breed.
Sorry-
However, society is mocking those kind of persons.
Sorry to cut you. You said, when I made that statement, you said he should cut his coat according to his size. That is like social conditioning, right? Because it's still part of the angle of you are this level, right? I think, what's the definition of love? They say love is pure. Love is pure, love is kind, love is this, right? If we have
And
removed
love
some
is also
part.
wisdom.
Thank you.
Love is also wisdom. You need to apply
the
wisdom.
gift of the Holy Spirit, right? Or what? With all of those things are there. Love is there. I don't want to missay it before they say I don't know my Bible, but I know that the fruit of the Spirit are plenty. You get so there is love, there is all of those things, but it's still that same. When you want to go the biblical way, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So the Bible, they say God is not an author of confusion.
Yeah.
So anything that will give you stress is not a good thing. So it means that the man is also to blame. And I'll go down here. The man should lead. And how do you want to lead somebody that is not willing to follow you? So it starts from courting, right? You want to get a woman and you already see that she's here. I think the only time you should blame a woman is if both of you come into a marriage and maybe she starts making bread more than you and she now wants to now put pressure on you to meet up else because it's already a marriage. But if it's when you are seeing somebody, you see somebody, something big past you, make we use them. The person is already living a life, because the truth is that is where the provision comes. Women rarely marry down.
But
Yeah.
the thing is
They
that,
always look up.
Up.
But
Yes.
Men
is-
are expected
guys-
to marry down
Down.
because naturally a man is is expected to lead his home. So how do you now want to bring somebody up there? I'm using your driving, somebody is driving a Range. She has her life sorted out. Obviously, except you want to chop her money. I feel there should be don't try your luck. Be bold, right? Try your luck.
But that's just 1 out of 1,000
so
cases.
this is the thing. If you meet people at the point of their needs, this is what I feel. Oftentimes, why maybe a woman is not only looking at you for the money sometimes, because some guys are comfortable, but you are more comfortable than them. Let me use that.
Yeah.
So a guy is okay. He can afford, he can take you out on a good date, can buy you good gifts, but not necessarily the kind of things you can afford for himself. Some ladies are okay with that kind of guy. Do you understand? But what may attract her to you might just be your intellect. I know of someone that what attracted her to someone is his business acumen. She had been with, she had the money, run business, but they are always going down because of the kind of, but you just met this person, not with the idea of dating. And he started putting you through stuffs. And that is where it happened. And she didn't see it like coming down to his level. She's getting something that she had never, for her, that is, do you understand? So what I'm saying in essence is, you should know a lady's needs so that you don't go and put yourself and you now say it's undue pressure tomorrow. Because I feel it's unfair to the woman for you to tell her what she is able to give to herself. What she's able to give to herself. You are no longer, you don't want to
like
make it up.
Our money, our money is our
relationship-
money. Your money is.
And that is the truth. It's
Every,
the reality of
every
life.
relationship should be able to add value to you.
Thank you.
Whatever relationship I'm going into should be able to add value to me as a man.
That's why it's a
And
relationship.
the lady as well should be able to add value to her. So I know what I want, you know what you want. Though I'm not saying that marriage should be transactional, but in another breath,
Is it not?
it's looking like that.
But this statement, my money is our money. We know that one.
That's a man.
Our money
Is our money.
is our money.
It's still a function of the topic of the
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it makes it's still part of what
But
is building the pressure.
if you see I don't want to use the word a good woman because good is relative, but there are women out there who still see theirs as that of the family as well. As long as both of you are on the same page, she sees you as a good man. You are not the type that, okay, if I entrust my money to your hands, you will mismanage
Squander it.
things.
But should you get comfortable as a man?
No,
Because
no,
that's where I
never
feel
get
the problem.
comfortable.
No.
Because for women, when it comes, the thing and see, sometimes when we blame women, and I feel is unfair, we are trying to force some things too. And that's why I started and saying the biological formation and the natural order, right? Even if a woman has, truth is, that's why you see a man can be providing for 1 year and he's happy. In fact, a responsible man, what gives him joy is that his
He has the
dependents are, thank you, that is what gives a man joy. But for a woman, it can be stressful for her. So that's why you now see a woman, maybe when she has done 2 months, please hold the family down. It starts weighing down on her. So are you going to, even the woman that is doing it, she wish, that's my own, I stand to be corrected. She will wish that she wasn't the person doing it.
Yes.
True.
Do you understand? So it has something to do with nature, how we have been made. She will wish that is why, okay, why is it that oftentimes a man will bring out his money to pay, right? Then when you find those women, good women, quote unquote, that have the money, oftentimes they can give it to the man too, because they look at it like people should not see it, like there's a shame that comes.
But if you belittle their man or their men, then you are belittling
The
them.
day she allows you to be belittled, it means maybe the love is no longer there.
There again.
So that's why I feel a man should not be comfortable.
Now, in the midst of all this pressure,
A man, before they will quote me, a man should not be comfortable sitting down and his woman footing the bills continuously.
I agree with you
Yes.
totally.
Absolutely.
I needed to finish
But it
that
should even
statement.
be a challenge to you as a man if you feel that, okay, your woman is doing better than you. And the order of things should be you as a man being the provider of the home. So that should serve as a challenge, not trying to bring the woman down. Rather, see how you can also get higher, get better
I
than the
think
current level.
it's more of a case of iron sharpened iron, right? If your wife is doing better than you, it's like you said, take it up as a challenge. Don't compete, but step
Yeah,
up,
yeah. You
right?
need to step up your
There are
game.
other avenues that you can probably increase value, increase finances, and all of that. Don't compete
But I
because
want to ask, because of this don't compete, I want to ask a question. Where I feel some men bring undue pressure to themselves is when you say don't compete. Do you think some men, out of fear, right? Um, you're building a woman up, and honestly, I feel some have actually even lost good women because of this. At a point, the woman is now, and you are now threatened. You are not thinking of it that, okay, if this woman is comfortable, it reduces the pressure on me, right? But all you are now concerned is, she respects me again.
but
And then some now lay
I think
down
that's an ego thing.
yes, and now, okay, you have to stop this. You have to stop this. And then by the time the woman stops it and comes back to the house, where you guys should have grown up to because of your ego. So at that point, you will now be like, okay, make a the hustle they provide. Are you not the one inviting pressure to yourself?
that is also it, right? Also, in respect to what you said, right? It could affect the children, right? I once met a guy. This guy said his mom is in oil and gas. Said his father was a son. That if his father is saying that he's going to X school this year, mother will just wait. Okay, next year you are going to this school like that. That is like he literally saw it. Like he said, he told me that, oh boy, money day. If my father does A, my mother will do D. You understand? But he said that it affected him.
And that's not a family in good harmony. There's an issue within
There's
the
an
family.
issue. But
A good woman will want to protect the husband. Even if you are richer than the husband, at least still show submission. I'm not saying you must, but see how you can protect the dignity of that man. Now, it's obvious to the son. And you can imagine the kind of people they are bringing from such a family. Imagine there's a girl in that family, a girl child in that family. What kind of a great child are you raising? I believe your loyalty should be to your family. See how you can protect your family. Same thing with a man as well. Your number one responsibility is to protect your family. Protection can be financial protection, it can be security, it can be anything, but at least ensure that you are protecting your family. Just like we'll say the responsibility of the government is to protect its citizens. Same thing applies to a man. Now, you were saying something that sometimes it's the men that invite all this pressure on themselves. Maybe it's because it is what the society has designed that, okay, this is the responsibility of a man. And you want to live up to that responsibility. And you must do everything to live up to that responsibility. If you are fortunate enough as a man and you are married to a good woman, it makes the whole thing, the whole journey very easy for you when you're talking about the marital journey. But if you are not, you are the only person struggling to put food on the table, struggling to pay the fees. That's why they will tell you these days you have more landladies than landlords because of pressure. Men die. I don't know what the
Life expectancy for men in
now,
Nigeria, I think, is around 47 to 55. I'm not really sure. I checked it.
which is shorter between the two.
for men, it's shorter.
It's for men now. It's always, in most population, is shorter for men. You hardly find any population. I think we should look at the UN statistics and it will tell us. So, and where you actually look at it well is look at impoverished countries, what they call third world countries, and you see that the life expectancy in Africa is the lowest and it's actually lower for men.
But like you're saying, I think there's some relationships.
But sorry, when we say life expectancy, are we believing that it's just the undue pressure? So let me also put something. It is men that finish from work and go and sit down and drink. Women are very calculative.
Why do
the
they
lifestyle
drink?
Why
do men
Okay,
drink?
you want to blame me, pin it back to the pressure from
It's
the
pressure sometimes. You just feel that, man, you need to unwind, you need to forget your sorrows, you need to, just to feel that, have that, what's it called now? That feel good factor. You want it there. So, and you feel that, okay, after work, let me go and relax, drink,
But
Yeah.
we always say we're looking at it. I don't. I've looked at it. Don't you think sometimes? Look at fathers. I'm beginning to see like sometimes even the male folks grow up to become fathers, but oftentimes they also don't understand their own father. Because if you ask, so that's where you see that the man is not fully appreciated sometimes. So some guys think they will do better than their father
Sure.
till they are faced with the
The
reality of life, right? Because they will look at this, my father could not do this for us, and all of that. And then when they now grow up, look at some people's lives. He's not even better off than their father.
I think it's a function of the kind of relationship you have with your children. Like me now, I'm a family-oriented person. I get my family involved in virtually everything that I do. Even my kids, they understand. They know when daddy is happy, when daddy is not happy, when daddy is stressed. Yeah. So they will want they always want to do something that will make me happy. I get them involved. That's why anytime, okay, maybe I pay their, not even maybe whenever I pay their fees, they show appreciation. I say, thank you, daddy, this and that. They know, they have ears. They can see. They know what is happening. They know when you are striving hard to provide for them. It's not every time that they will get what they want. They know that when they don't get it this time around, it's because,
But do you think their mother has played a part in all of this? In the sense that when you say they appreciate you, they do this. Don't you think their mom is actually inculcating that in them? I'm just trying to get because I know some house that it is still the mom that will be, saying things that makes the child feels like, let's say this is how papa know they try.
I know of a family. It's the father that is carrying the whole responsibility. But you want to pay school fees. The father gives the money to the mom. The mom goes to school to pay. Now the child is seeing the mom as the person that is paying the fees. In my house, I don't go to school to pay fees. My wife does that.
And she still tells the children.
She tells them. She lets them know that
your father has paid your
father has
school
done
fees.
this.
So you know that is your father doing this.
Even in the past, in some instances, she will still, even when she did something, she will still let them know that, this is done to her, your daddy did this or that. So that's why I say if there's no love in that family, that's where issue comes in. That, okay, this one will want to take responsibility. I'm the one doing this. This person is useless. It's not alive to its own responsibilities. It's because there's a friction in that family.
Sorry, I have a question, which is, will you say because of, for people that are married, right? There has to be a working partner. But look at the situation now, right? A whole lot of guys are not getting married. Like, they just took the back step. They just took one step back and a whole lot of ladies too are not.
Why are they not getting married? Because of the economic pressure?
Because of what you people are showing them on social media.
Because of everything.
You're making marriage seem unattractive. You're making it. So for the men, we speak from the men part. If you speak to some persons, they will tell you that it's not looking attractive. Women are also having so much expectations too that they feel the man cannot meet those expectations. So the thing is, as much as what I'll say is the marriageable materials are shrinking on both folks, on both sides. So the ones that are available are being competed for by so many. So it's just like you drop feeds into a fish pond and you see all of them rushing. So that is what is happening.
The thing is this, even the Bible says, guide your hearts. Why did the Bible say guide your heart? It's the kind of information that you allow into your heart. Now, if you keep feeding on negative news, negative in quote, what is negative to me might not be negative to you. But if you keep feeding on that, that's what you get. So sometimes you need to be selective in what you listen to. Who are your teachers? Who are the people you are listening to? Who are your role models?
Also,
there will always be good examples. There will always be bad examples.
Also,
it now depends on which one do you want to believe.
Also, I think in respect to this brings me to this, right? I think you can have guys that can provide, right? But also, you're having what they call low quality men.
How do you mean by low quality men?
So take for example, like a Yahoo boy,
So
right?
they are low quality men.
Are you saying a Yahoo boy is a low quality?
That's what he said. now.
So in terms
Are you
of
saying that? Say it again.
yes, I'm saying that with my full chest.
Okay.
Right? In terms of values, right? So let me say, there's a guy, he's a Yahoo boy. He can provide everything. But also, when you look at in terms of the values, the core values that will actually stir up, right? It might not be convincing to the woman, but that's the guy that can afford the lifestyle. Well, on the other hand, the one that has the value does not have the money.
It's a function of your value system. Now, Ode said something earlier. There are so many things an average woman is looking out for in a man. Some financial security. Some being able to take care of that woman.
That financial security in our current society,
That is number one.
is not. In fact,
how come you have rich women that are still into infidelity?
So
That's why I said it's a function of.
So this is what. No, it's not a function of what you are looking for only. This is what it is. I'll say something, it might be controversial. While a man is more capable of loving, right?
Mm-hmm.
In bad times than a woman. More capable. A woman can love you, but she's more loyal to her needs. If that love will get in the way of her needs, that is why it is far more difficult to predict them. They are more unpredictable than you. A man can be known.
I don't want to agree.
You may not agree, but a man can be known. Your wife can predict you more than you can predict her, whether you like it or not. And it's up for discourse anyway. That's why I said I'm going to make a controversial statement. Your wife can predict you more than you can predict her. That is why oftentimes if a woman is asking you questions, she has done the research. She has known the answer. She just needs you to say something so she knows, she goes back and continue whatever she's doing. So when you say rich women are, because they are, that's another of their needs. So if they will not leave that money, and by the time she has her money, and you want to now tell her nonsense, that's when you really know what's more important to her at that material point in time. And that is why they change. They are changing. They know this time you start wondering, is this the person you married? Why is this person behaving like that?
But it applies to both parties.
But the truth is, a man is more predictable, whether you agree or not. A man is more predictable than a woman.
You can say a man is more predictable because we are not too emotional.
So we are more
For someone who is emotional, who is ruled by emotions, you might not be able to predict that person.
That is why you
to a
say
certain
we are more.
extent.
So that's the emotional part that comes out, that you says you think she has. Oftentimes we always think we know what they want.
But when you talk about loyalty, a woman is more loyal than a man. The thing is this. I'm coming.
I start to disagree.
The thing is this. Because a woman is emotional, she tends, in quotes, put all her eggs in one basket until she's messed up. But a man is a distributor.
This is a talk for another day. Let's just leave concentrate on this topic, because if you want to enter this thing you are saying now, it will not end.
I start to disagree.
What is it called? All of this. I'm just saying, let's just, because you see where you are going to, we will not end this debate.
Okay. Let's limit it to the topic of discussion. But I'm still standing with my full chest to say that.
But
it's a generalized statement now.
Somebody will have to come and defend them, because you will hear things now, right? Let's just leave that and focus on the undue pressure.
Now the pressure on the men now.
Sorry. Just the pressure on the men. A few days ago was International Men's Day. Okay. What did you get?
What did I get?
It's not a few days. Okay. It was even yesterday.
Okay. What did you get?
From whom? I know where you're going to. From who?
From any woman.
Do you have a side chick? You're asking from who? Your wife is your side chick. She's your mother. She's everything.
So
Okay.
invariably, I have a side chick.
Yes, you have,
Look
a,
at-
you
look
have
at-
a girlfriend.
let-
You
let-
have a
let-
wife. You have a
Let's
side
be sincere.
chick.
Look at how social media, apart from organizations that posted it and all of that, right? It didn't trend. The thing was like under the belt, like the time inside rapper.
What was your expectation?
So this is still part of the pressure.
You want to be pampered.
No.
Ah.
So this is where I'm
They
going,
say,
right?
blessed are those that do not expect, for
Men
they shall
should
not be
be men.
disappointed.
That's what they are
Yes.
telling you. Men should be. What are you expecting from a woman?
But wait, right?
What are you expecting from a woman?
I mean, we are talking about
a
pressure
woman
on
giving
men.
birth to kids for you is the best. She
That's
has
the
done-
best gift
She has
that you
done
can
everything.
get.
What you want, boxers and singlets or what?
Do you know what it means?
That's what you want.
The changes in a woman's body. Do you
No,
know what
the
it
truth
means?
is you can never write that up. So that's why I said by nature, God has given a man a cross to carry and a woman a different cross to carry. So whether you like it or not, if you like, let's fight nature from now to tomorrow. A man is the provider. If
That-
there is
that
no
is
food in the house,
That is
nobody will blame
The woman.
the woman.
Yeah.
They will always blame as long as that man is. In fact, some men are dead. They are still blaming them for the suffering. That yes, they will say that man when they are
Some
alive,
children are
he
even
did
blaming
not-
their father.
do you get
Oh,
somebody will
God.
come and say, my father, the thing what I hear about he did not live. His father died before they I said before they gave birth to him. Yes,
Maybe
of course,
when-
some people would have their father could have died before. Maybe they've conceived him before, but they've told him that when your people they save, your papa just dey flex. When he mate been travel go do peacekeeping mission, they come back with money. Him go do good man for there. He will not sit down. The day he doesn't have money, he will say, "God, my papa fuck up. I don't meet that man." You know, you hear children say this kind of things. That's why some men are still blamed even when they have died.
of
But you
course.
don't hear
But-
people saying things
but-
like that
but
about their mothers.
Should
I think a man should definitely
monetary
just
value
expect.
be regarded as the only thing to qualify a man? I feel that if a man
But
is
it's not
not
the only thing that qualifies a man. It's just that the problem is
Is what the
So
society
how-
has
a
how-
bad.
hungry human. They used to say man, but a hungry human being
is an angry,
see, when you are hungry, that's why they say never trust the loyalty of what? A poor man. Because it goes down to your stomach. And why do they weaponize poverty in Africa? Even during
be able to
elections.
manipulate people.
By the time we say all of us we are going to fight, they now look at these people that are hungry, say give them two bags of rice. The people you are going, you might turn back and discover that you are the only person. So hunger has its, so you have to provide. A man is not qualified by only what. That's why you still see that by the time you start providing in terms of food, money, some of those men are still not respected at home because some of those men are providing those things, but they are sleeping around outside, right? They are not taking care of. Some disrespect their wife so bad, even in front of their children. Your children will still not respect you,
Yeah.
although you are giving them. So when we say provision, it is not just material provision. There is a part of social security. That's what it has solved, right? There is a part of
Responsibility.
emotional security. Do you understand? There is the part where your children also expect you to spend quality time with them. There is the part where, of course, we say, is it not too? That's why sometimes you are saying the women folks, you are doing everything, but they are regarding their mother because you
they spend time with
yes,
them.
because they are spending time, and God should punish you. Your wife is the type that wants the glory for herself, and she will be telling
That
the
person is
kids,
done.
"You get," and that you're done for. You're done for.
Okay, all right. There's one saying that may your loyalty never be tested. You don't want to be in that position. It's for men, it's a heavy load trying to. That's when I talk about men, I'm talking about the responsible men out there. Because not every man is responsible, just like not every woman is responsible. So for every responsible man, kudos to them. It's not easy to be a man, especially in this part of the world, in the midst of economic crisis, and being able to still satisfy the urge from the family. It's a great thing. Thank you for today's show and hope to see you guys again. Bye.